I'm standing out here because hotel chairs are the worst. I'm 6'3", and they all rock, and I'm like rocking back and forth like, this is terrible. Another thing I want to talk about before we get into the actual KPIs is time to launch. Everybody's saying this needs to be time to value. Nobody knows what that means in implementation. It's a launch date. Value, are we getting value from it? That's not the launch teams. That's not what they're going for. I actually Googled this and I couldn't find anything. Actually, that's wrong. I found one of my own articles and that's not even that great. I think the issue with that article is that I got into team KPIs when you should be tracking about a project. But if we're talking about your people and how you're KPIing them and how you're making sure they are progressing on in their career, there's really only a couple things you should be putting down for your KPI. So remove company goals and go from here. Okay, the first thing that you should do is you should know your time to launch. How long do your projects actually take to go live? If you don't know that, then you actually do need to go and figure out, hey, how long do our projects take to go live? Once you know that, your team should then be shooting to get 95% adherence to that. That other 5% is going to be your enterprise projects, and just some projects do go off the rails, but it shouldn't be all that often. Okay, the next thing you should be tracking as a KPI is the team's adherence to a template. So you should have templates. I suggest one or two, maybe one is an enterprise template, one's a standard baseline template. Regardless, your team, again, 95% adherence to those templates. People need to be rolling projects out in a standardized format. Okay, if you've promised a launch date in your contracts, and some companies have to do this, I get it, you should have a no less than 30-day delay in launch from the defined launch date. So if you're saying, hey, everybody signs up with a launch date, try and KPI on less than 30 days variance on that. And again, you do have to go in and talk to your team and make sure that the customer wasn't ghosting or they didn't go away or things like that. The last thing that I try and emphasize is have a personal development aspect. The things I really like, there's 2 courses that I suggest, and you want to make sure they're going to get a certificate. Like they have to go through, take a quiz, print off a little certificate and go from there. One is a project management course. If you're doing implementations, you need to know project management. It doesn't have to be PMP, like you're going to go build a rocket or build a space shuttle or something like that. But you should know the basics of project management. The other one, if they've gotten their project management certificate, maybe the next year they get a change management certificate. So there's good courses in both of these. You don't have to break the bank on them. I've seen them on Coursera, I've seen them on Success Hacker, but these are some good, solid KPIs for your implementation team.